Am I the asshole for giving my mom the silent treatment after I found out she was pregnant? I will try to be as direct as possible. I always had a complicated relationship with my mother. Throughout my childhood, she always had problems with addiction. Basically, what I remember from my childhood with her is living with her until things got so bad that our family had to step in, moving in with them, my mom getting better, then moving back in with her only for her to get worse and the cycle to start all over again. However, since I was 13 I live with my uncles. They are incredible and they have always been the parents I needed, but since then my mother has not asked me to stay with her again. My uncles always explained that she had a disease and her leaving me with them was proof of her love for me. You can imagine that my relationship with her has always been complicated, but I've always tried to understand that this is something that is out of her control. In the last months, she's been on a good streak again, stopping all that shit. She's moved in with a new boyfriend and he seems to be someone that wants to help her out. We don't see each other much but I try to call her at least every 15 days, and my parents always try to report to me about her improvements. However, last week, after a long time, she was the one that called me and asked me to go out. I tried not to get too excited because I already know what she's like, but at the same time, I was happy. When we met, she explained how her boyfriend has helped her to cut 100 contact with anyone who influences her to go back to addiction, and how she wants to be a better person. She even started therapy and went to rehab for a while. I said I was very happy and asked what finally motivated her to make that decision. And then she told me that he helped her but that the big motivator that gave her strength is that they decided to start a family and that she wanted to meet me in person to let me know that she is pregnant. She said she needed to be better, to be present, and that is what is helping her focus on recovery. It hurt me, you know, that they were worth it, but I wasn't. I decided to leave before our lunch was even over and ignored all forms of contact from her thereafter. As people say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. However, yesterday her boyfriend called me. I answered because I didn't have his number saved and he started yelling at me. He said I was an asshole, that for him I would never have contact with his family, because apparently no one knows where my mom is and what hindered her improvement was my attitude. My grandparents are also angry with me and said that I am very irresponsible and that I didn't have emotional responsibility with someone very vulnerable. My parents said I didn't do anything wrong but I have my doubts. X200B. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. She shouldn't have a new kid if she's so emotionally unstable with her addiction battle that she can't handle the current one having their own feelings. The new one is going to have them too. Not the asshole. You did nothing wrong, and you and your attitude are not responsible for your mother's mental state, addiction, improvement, or whatever. Ask him, since he's being so alpha about it all, if you were his daughter, how he would feel about a new mother's boyfriend going off on you that way. You are allowed to have your feelings and whatever contact you do or don't want with your mother and her new family. Edit. I can't stress this enough. Children of any age are not emotionally responsible for their parents. Not the asshole. Your mother's recovery never has been and never will be your responsibility. As the one struggling with addiction, it is your mother's responsibility to be mindful of the situations she puts herself in. It was on her to prepare herself for the range of reactions you might have to this information. And your reaction was far from unpredictable. Honestly, it's the new boyfriend who is an asshole. He has no business yelling at you, neither does your family, but he literally doesn't even know you. You absolutely are not responsible for any of your mother's choices. Not the asshole. You did the right thing by leaving to save your own mental health. Block the boyfriend and everyone else giving you grief. You don't have to deal with it right now. Your mother should have been prepared for you not having the reaction she was hoping for. This is not your fault. Don't feel bad. Not the asshole. She's abandoned you for most of your life. Addiction is a big problem and it's understandable that it's taken her so long to get better, but you're allowed to be hurt. Especially since she basically just said BF and new baby are worth getting better for to your face. I'd be offended too. Sorry she's being like this, but hopefully she understands how she hurt you someday. OP, you are not responsible for your mom's recovery. She relapsed because she was not responsible for her recovery. This is her pattern. Not the asshole. You have every right to be hurt. And your mom's actions are not your responsibility. Not the asshole. It's your decision if you want to keep your mom in your life or not. I can understand how you feel, and while your reaction might have hurt your mom, in my opinion it was completely valid. You are allowed to remove yourself from situations that hurt you. Not the asshole. Unfortunately, many addicts believe everything needs to be sunshine and flowers because they are finally clean. They don't realize that the damage they did does not heal because they are ready to heal. Your mother needs to face the damage she has done to you. Not the asshole. If you being mad at her drives her off the deep end immediately, how the hell does her husband and the grandparent think she can handle a pregnancy and new baby? This was entirely irresponsible. And they just moved in together and are jumping to children. They're all delusional. Not the asshole for deftly dodging the unpaid babysitting gig, now and henceforth. Not the asshole. You've been handed the short end of the stick where she is concerned. Over and over and over. She has hurt you many times. She needs to understand that just because she has an addiction it doesn't absolve her of that. Too bad, so sad if that hurts her feelings. Not the asshole. Your mother made her own choices and from your post seems very selfish and self-involved. My bet is that she shows back up very fast, after causing a lot of worry and stress to everyone, including you. If her or her BF dare contact you again, explain how you feel and tell them that your uncles are your parents. She is invalidating you. Go NC for your own emotional well-being. Not the asshole. But the BF sure sounds like one ESP if that's how he speaks to you. Ntar. You aren't at fault. It's clear her sobriety is always short-lived. Having another child isn't going to change her nature. I'm sorry. Not the asshole, and mom needs a tubal ligation. Not the asshole. Her sobriety is not your responsibility, it's on her and her alone. Her boyfriend and her parents are way out of line and this is why she can't stay clean. She can't do it for you or this baby, it has to be for her and her alone. They are not making her responsible for her actions at all, and putting the blame on others for her actions is just enabling her bad behavior. Cut contact with her and her parents and this BF. They are not helping her and are hurting you. Cut contact with them. Not the asshole. Great that she's clean now, but that doesn't just make all of the harm she caused you to just vanish. Everybody else is talking out of their ass. Not the asshole. Oh, look, you have his, you can block it. Not the asshole. Don't be surprised if she can't do it for this baby either. Sure, she blames it on you, that's easy. Guess she hasn't changed that much after all, none of this is your fault. Of course, you are hurt. Your mother couldn't stay clean for you, and with a new pregnancy she is finally changing. You have a right to be jealous. Please talk to your parents, your uncles. Get help to process this information. The BF contacting you and yelling at you is over the line, IMO. 2. Get that he wants to protect your mom. You are young at 20. Your feelings are valid, are real. Your GPS are wrong too. Why is your mother's vulnerability more important than yours? You are not the adult. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. This might be harsh, but if your mother can't handle you walking out of lunch after receiving some pretty major news, how does she expect to be able to handle an infant? You shouldn't be blamed because you didn't walk on eggshells around her. You weren't mean, you just needed to process the bomb she dropped